From the very first moment the sun rose over Maplewood Lane that Tuesday morning, something felt different. Subtle, almost unnoticeable, like a quiet shift in the air that only intuition could catch. And although no one knew it yet, the day was about to become one the entire neighborhood would talk about for years. It began with a simple walk, a 7-year-old boy, and a golden retriever whose tail never seemed to stop moving. Liam Weston had always trusted his dog, Sonny, more than he trusted most people. Sonny had a gift, a calm intelligence behind warm brown eyes. The dog could sense when Liam was upset, or when his mother needed company, or when a squirrel was foolish enough to underestimate an enthusiastic retriever. But the adventure that would unfold that day was something even Sonny couldn't have predicted. It began shortly after breakfast. The early light filtered through the kitchen windows, painting long rectangles across the tiled floor. Liam's mother was finishing dishes, humming softly, while Sonny sat by the door, tail tapping rhythmically on the floor like a gentle drumbeat. "Can we go now?" Liam asked, already wearing his shoes, laces disastrously tangled in a way only a 7-year-old could manage. His mother smiled. "Just around the block. And stay on Maplewood." She didn't worry much. Maplewood Lane was known for kind neighbors, slow traffic, and front yards filled with flowers rather than trouble. Still, she watched from the doorway as her son and his dog trotted down the sidewalk. A small boy in a red hoodie and a golden dog with the confidence of a seasoned explorer. The air was crisp, carrying scents of blooming jasmine and freshly cut grass. A light breeze nudged the wind chimes on Mrs. Rosen's porch, releasing soft, tinkling notes into the quiet street. It should have been an ordinary morning walk. But Sonny paused before they even passed the second house. He sniffed the ground, ears perked, then gave a short, sharp bark, one Liam had heard only a few times before. It was Sonny's "something's not right" bark. "What is it, boy?" Liam whispered, curiosity tightening his voice. Sonny tugged at the leash, nose locked onto a small cardboard box lying half open near the curb. It wasn't large, about the size of a lunch container, but its contents had spilled out across the grass. A few crayons, a folded piece of paper, a single pink sock decorated with tiny stars. Liam knelt down. The box was slightly dented, as if dropped in a hurry. "Someone lost this," he said, picking up the sock. Sonny whined, nudging the paper with his nose. There was handwriting on it, childish and simple. A name, Emily. Liam didn't know any Emily on their street. He looked around, scanning driveways and windows, as if expecting someone to step outside. No one did. "Should we bring it back to her?" he asked out loud, even though the decision was really up to Sonny now. And Sonny answered by moving forward purposefully, tugging again, this time toward a trail of other small items scattered further down the sidewalk. A toy ring, a sticker, half stuck to the pavement, a tiny hair clip shaped like a butterfly. Like breadcrumbs. The narrator could describe it only as a moment where innocence met responsibility. Liam felt it too, a sense that this wasn't just about returning a lost sock. Something deeper tugged at him, urging him to follow Sonny's lead. And so they did. The trail wound between front yards, through a narrow alleyway Liam had never taken alone, and finally out into the back side of the neighborhood, behind the old community garden. Throughout the walk, Sonny stayed alert, ears up, tail still, movements purposeful. At one point, Liam tried to speak, but the words caught in his throat. He didn't want to admit it to himself, but he felt a slight, unsettling pressure in his chest, a question that kept repeating. Why would someone's belongings be scattered like this? Halfway through the garden path, they encountered Mr. Dalton, the retired firefighter who took pride in his tomato plants. "Morning, Liam. Everything all right?" he asked, wiping soil off his gloves. "We're looking for someone," Liam replied. "A girl named Emily, I think." Mr. Dalton's face softened with concern. "Don't know anyone by that name around here." Sonny sniffed at the air, pacing in small circles, then let out another sharp bark. "He's been tracking something," Liam explained. Mr. Dalton crouched down, studying the dog with the respect only someone who's been in emergencies knows how to show. Golden retrievers have good noses, but they also have good hearts. If he thinks something's wrong, trust him. Those words resonated more deeply than Liam expected. Sonny suddenly darted toward a side gate leading into the field behind the community garden. Liam followed, heart pounding. The gate had been left cracked open, swaying slightly in the breeze. They entered. The field behind the garden was rarely used anymore. An open stretch of uneven grass and wildflowers bordered by worn-down tool sheds. And lying near one of those sheds was something that made Liam stop cold. Another box, nearly identical to the first. This one was overturned completely. Items scattered in a messy arc across the ground. A small stuffed rabbit, a child-sized water bottle, a sheet of stickers peeled halfway off. Sonny approached it slowly, nose twitching, tail low. Liam called out softly, "Emily, are you here?" His voice trembled. No reply, only wind through the tall grass. The narrator could feel the moment when fear first crept into Liam's thoughts. Not panic, but an uncomfortable awareness that this situation might be far more serious than he wanted to believe. He spoke to Sonny quietly. "What if she's hurt?" Sonny pressed his head gently against the boy's arm, grounding him. Then, as if determined not to waste another second, the dog took off toward the row of tool sheds. Liam ran after him. As they moved closer, a sound floated through the air, soft, rhythmic, barely audible. Not crying, not talking, more like tapping. A chill ran down Liam's spine. Sonny stopped in front of the second shed and pawed at the door. It was closed, but not locked. Inside the shed, the light was dim, dust floating in the air like drifting snow. The tapping grew louder, the unmistakable pattern of wood hitting wood. Liam swallowed hard and pushed the door open, and there, perched on an overturned paint bucket, was an elderly man sanding a wooden birdhouse. He looked up, startled. "Well, hello there." Sonny relaxed immediately. Liam let out a breath he didn't realize he'd been holding. I thought someone was in trouble," Liam said, embarrassed but still uneasy. The man smiled kindly. "Just me. I come out here most mornings." But something still felt off. Liam glanced around the small shed. It was neat, organized, filled with woodworking tools. But no sign of a girl named Emily. Sonny began sniffing again, more intensely this time. He circled the shed once, then headed back outside, stopping by a narrow dirt path leading toward the opposite side of the field. "He wants us to follow him," Liam told the man. The man nodded slowly. "Then you'd better go." As they walked the narrow path, Sonny's pace quickened. There was urgency in his posture now. Ears forward, body tense, tail straight. Liam's legs struggled to keep up, his breath coming faster, fear mixing with determination. Then, another discovery. Just past a cluster of tall weeds, lying in the grass, was a small, bright pink backpack, the same shade as the sock. Liam froze. He looked around. Emily? The narrator could almost hear the boy's heartbeat. Fast, loud, heavy. Sonny sniffed the backpack and whimpered. Just once. a sound filled with worry. That was the moment things changed. The turning point. Liam realized this was no longer a simple mystery or lost and found errand. This was serious. He grabbed Sonny's leash firmly. "We have to tell Mom," he whispered, voice trembling. They sprinted back toward Maplewood Lane, Sonny staying at Liam's side instead of leading. The boy stumbled once, but caught himself. When they reached their street, neighbors noticed immediately. "What's wrong?" someone called. Another asked, "Liam, are you hurt?" He shook his head, trying to catch his breath. "There's a backpack and a trail. A girl named Emily." Within minutes, adults gathered in small groups, exchanging worried glances. A neighbor called the police non-emergency hotline. Others followed Liam as he retraced his steps to the field. What happened next spread through Maplewood Lane like wildfire. Police arrived. Parents from nearby streets joined. Volunteers formed organized search lines. What began as a boy walking his golden retriever rapidly escalated into a coordinated neighborhood effort. But then came the twist no one expected. As officers canvassed the area, a woman sprinted across the field, tears streaming down her cheeks. She shouted a name with raw desperation. "Emily!" Everyone turned. She pointed toward the far corner of the field, near the old fence where wild blackberry bushes grew thick and tangled. "My daughter! She wandered off while we were visiting my sister's house. We've been looking everywhere." Before anyone could respond, Sonny bolted. He shot across the field with astonishing speed, ears flying back, paws pounding the ground. Liam ran after him, followed by adults, officers, neighbors. Sonny reached the blackberry bushes and stopped abruptly, barking in rapid, urgent bursts. A tiny voice answered, "I'm here." The bushes shifted. A small girl, no older than 5, appeared between the branches, her shirt stained with berry juice, her cheeks streaked with tears. One sock missing, the pink one from the box. Her mother collapsed to her knees, hugging her tightly. Emotion swept through the crowd, a wave of relief so powerful it made several people cry. Liam approached quietly, Sonny beside him. The mother looked up at the boy and whispered, "You found her, you and your dog." Liam shook his head. "Sonny found her. I just followed." Sonny nuzzled the child gently, licking her hand, and little Emily, still trembling, wrapped her arms around the dog's neck. For a moment, everything was silent except for the sounds of gratitude carried on the wind. The narrator observed how this day transformed Liam. He had begun the morning as a curious child, but ended it with a deeper understanding of responsibility, courage, and trust. And Sonny, well, Sonny became a hero. Not because he sought attention, but because he did what golden retrievers do best: care deeply, sense intuitively, and act decisively. When the neighborhood dispersed and Emily was safely reunited with her family, Liam and Sonny walked home under the warm glow of the late afternoon sun. The air felt different again, this time full of warmth rather than tension. As they reached their porch, Liam's mother pulled him into a tight embrace. "You did something incredible today," she whispered. He glanced at Sonny, who tilted his head with that signature golden grin. "I just followed him," Liam replied softly. But she knew better, and so did the entire neighborhood. They knew that sometimes the biggest adventures begin with the smallest steps, and sometimes heroes come in the form of a boy and his loyal golden retriever. And in the days that followed, Maplewood Lane buzzed with admiration. People brought treats for Sonny, congratulated Liam, and told the story again and again. How a simple walk had transformed into a neighborhood-wide search that ended with a child found safe. As for Sonny, he didn't care for the attention. All he wanted was to sit with Liam, tail swaying peacefully, knowing he had done what he was meant to do. Before closing the story, the narrator leans in with a gentle reminder to all watching. If you enjoyed this heartfelt, true-to-life adventure and want more cinematic storytelling like this, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next story. And with that, the day on Maplewood Lane fades into memory, a story of intuition, bravery, and an unbreakable bond between a boy and his dog.